Greetings to you. We want to try to express something in this wise, if I may, when it comes to what I call the times in which we live. Maybe not so much in a collective sense, but the time in which I've come to understand, in which I am living in. One thing I realize about time, we know that, or I know that it doesn't wait. And I always say that awareness is the beginning of time. And one's time needs to be economized. Yes. And when one's time is economized, you create what is called an economy. And if you look at those two words, echo and know me, echo is that which is resounding. Echo, it carries. And then know me is systematic knowledge. Yes, systematic knowledge. Yet, when you deal with economizing time and creating an economy, the end result is to revise, not original, but to revise being coherent, being cognitive, being clear, and it's almost like an exoneration from something. In the religious sense, it is called redemption. Yes. So how do I approach that when it comes to economizing time? I do so holistically. Yes. Because I realize that as when you're talking about giving an expression, because we all have need for self-expression. I have my core values, and that is opportunity, expression, and appreciation for life. Yes. And the natural progression of what I've come to learn to know of an expression is to convert words into ideas into meaning into emotion, and then that will conclude with being logic. So hopefully I can express myself in being logic in the midst of any disturbances that is going on around me. I realize that when I think of the word real, I think of the word royalty. When I think of the word royalty, it is the manner and way and how we treat one another. I just want to deal with the pleasure and the responsibility. I see that in the society in which we live, there was pleasure. It was an enjoyment. It was pleasure to engage in any form of pleasure, whatever it may be. But yet there is responsibility that comes with that pleasure. I also come to a point to realize in this wise is that humans' original nature, it's a strong possibility We're dealing with the law of probability in all likelihood, or less likelihood, that his or her original nature was not to take pleasure in the physical interaction or the intimate interaction physically, the word of engaging in one another in a sexual activity, put it that way. That he or she original nature is to use his creative ability and to take pleasure in what his or her mind has produced by way of also in association with his hands, his or her hands. Yes. And you deal with, considered to be tool making, pleasure in that. So that means that humans take pleasure in identifying with the end product. Yes, the end product. Because the mind at its best is to think constructive. The mind, we are here to be productive. That is the multiplication of it. So, in the pleasure and the responsibility, we have to deal with the innocence. That's what I want to get, the innocence. With the innocence of the people, there was a recent exchange. And in that recent exchange, one for another. And there was something that was written that is walking off the pages. Where it said that there was a brother by the name of Pontius Pilate who wanted to wash his hands before the people, before the multitude, saying that this particular brother, who was considered to being crucified, was innocent. Well, Imam Muhammad Muhammad said that the crucifixion was happening to wasn't an individual, but it was, I'm paraphrasing now, forgive me for using his name, but I'm dealing with the innocence, let's put it this way. I'm dealing with the innocence of the people that has been, or that is being what? Crucified. Because we want the pleasure without the responsibility that comes with the pleasure. So therefore, there is what they call being guilty of something, of being irresponsible, of washing your hands with something, but yet you're putting on a show. Huh? Man, if this is not a show that is going on. Because if a person or even a government wants to wash its hands with something that they saying that they're showing that they're are taking pleasure in being irresponsible, with their authority and with their power. In doing so, they are taking advantage of the innocence of the people, mentally and emotionally. If someone is considered to be, or when you look at the humanity of a people, and you deal with innocence, and it's based on that which has been injured. That means that one's innocence has been injured. And I have often said that you can tell how people respond due to the extent and the damage that has been done to his or her humanity. Because the biggest crime that you can commit is fraud. You pretend to be something that you are not. You say that you are for the people, huh? You say that. But yet you wash your hands with you wash your hands from being responsible with the development, huh? When it comes to one's intellect, when it comes to one's mentality, when it comes to the totality of one's well-being, when it comes to the humanity. Because Robert F. Kennedy says the irresponsible use of power of government is that they make money off the people rather than for the people, even though I threw the material in there. So washing one's hands of being irresponsible, destroying, dismantling, corrupting, and contaminating the innocence of the people. You say, well, who's innocent then? Huh? When I say innocent, it's based on injury. You have to deal with the trauma of the crisis that one is in when it comes to his or her behavior in association with their humanity. So to wash one's hands with that is a travesty against humanity. And that exchange that took place is saying that I'm not responsible. I'm not responsible for you. The only thing I'm responsible for is that I rule over you. Because I know that you can't rule yourself. I'm only responsible to govern you because you can't govern yourself. I'm only responsible to take care of you because you can't take care of yourself. I'm only responsible to projecting the image that I want to project about you because you don't know how to project the positive image about yourselves. Well, what do you expect? Surely he or she gets what they strive for. Until next time, talk to you.